Hi there. This is Meri at the.meri.atelier. And today is Sunday evening, January the 27th. It's about 5:30 in the evening. Hello, hello. I am going to do an impromptu because I want to. Hi, everybody that's coming in. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Jeri. Hi, Ray. Ruth Lamb. Hello, hello. Becky, Imagination Nation. Hi, Becky, Imagination Nation. Beth and Debbie. Hi, Debbie. And Auntie Rose. And hi, Tanya. Tanya, these are the stars that I got done in. Tanya McGuire does a live stream on Sunday afternoons at 12 o'clock noon Central Time. Now, I could not stay for the entire stream. I had gotten 4 of your little squares, and you know me, Tanya, I don't do anything neat. I do not do anything neat. So when I cut my 2-inch squares, I rip them. So my stars are a little uneven. But what stars don't have clumps in them? But these I cut with this was an earbud case, and it has this real shiny foiled kind of a cardstock in it, just a strip, and I was able to cut some 2-inch squares out of it. And this is the back of it. I kind of like the back. I kind of like this back one. And then these were just made out of the security envelopes. I got my stars made. I enjoyed doing that. And I got the 4 little squares made, but that was the point to where I had to leave. So I will be going back to your video and catching up with it. In fact, I will put a link to your video, Tanya, after this video processes so people can find your session. Let's see. Hi, Sharon Lombard, Vicki Ross. Hi, Vicki. Auntie Rose, Carlana, Patricia Stubbs. Hi, everybody. That worked for me. They are awesome. Tanya says, my little crooked stars. I inked them. I inked my security envelopes just because I felt like they needed, I think they needed some color. Let's see. Lynn Wright, Patricia Stubbs. Hi, Holly Dalton. Thank you, Jeri, for putting that link in. I appreciate that. There's a link to Tanya's live stream today if you're interested in learning how to make these little stars. So cool. Cool school. And I also cut out my pages. Let's put these aside. I will be working on this. Maybe I have to look at the rest of the video to find out where she went with things so that I can catch up. But here are the pages. I used one of these not security envelopes, one of these manila envelopes that I got for mailing. I had a couple left. So I cut one because I didn't have an envelope the size that Tanya used. And then she said you could use a paper bag. So I cut a side of the paper bag. And I think I'll actually put it like this because, well, no, like this. Because it says thank you. It says thank you. And I'll just probably paint all this out and leave the thank you. So this will be a page. I have to see what she does with these. I have to go back and review the rest of the video. So I'm going to put these aside, but I will be working on, maybe I'll work on this in one of my live streams this week, my early morning ones or something. Let's see. Let me put this aside. And I have a squeaky chair. I have a squeaky chair. So I apologize for the squeaks. These are the doodle envelopes. One is going to Becky and one's going to Lisa. Because I have to send my image swaps. Oh, we've got kitties for Aunt Beck. Holly's in here. Patricia, Maria Duncan. Hi, Maria. Is that a junk journal? Tanya, Auntie Ro, that is Tanya's totally junk journal. She has an entire playlist. Let me zoom out one here. I think I'm zoomed in just a little. Let's see. Let's zoom out a notch. I'm still learning where all the settings are on this camera. So there. So there we go. So Jeri gave a link to her. Jeri, do you know how to link to her playlists? Why don't you put in Tanya's, or Tanya, you can too if you're here, put in a link to your playlist for the Totally Junk Journal. She's been doing this for several weeks now. I would say she's got about 14 or 15 pages out there, even more. And she's been streaming at 12 noon on Sundays, 12 noon Central Time. And I try to make it when I can. And if I can't make it for the entire session, I try to make it at least enough so that I know what's going on. Hi, Jeri. Well, actually, that's what we're going to work on today. Because when I put the videos up of these two imps that I did, these are taken from motifs. Well, most of them are. Let's go to this one, because these are taken from motifs from the Doodle challenge that I do on Friday night. And we're actually going out, and I have linked to the Metropolitan Museum of Art where you can get public domain images. And on these, we have been looking at pottery fragments. Pottery fragments is where I've got most of these. But when I did my two videos where I did these, I did them in fast forward. Now one is going to Aunt Beck and one is going to Lisa. But here's the thing. I went through fast forward, so I thought I'd slow it down in a live stream so you all can see, and I'm going to actually use these as my inspiration. So you can all see how these doodles are done. So that's what I was going to do in this live stream. They're from the Metropolitan Museum of Art, Jeri. And actually, if you go to, I don't think I have it in Friday nights because we did not do a doodle challenge, but the week before, not last Friday, but the week before that. And if you look in my description box of my stream, you will see a link to them. Well, it might even be the week before that, because I'm not sure. I got a link out there to the public access, and I'll put it in this video too. I'll put a link to the Metropolitan Museum of Art, and they have an entire collection of public domain images. So I've been going through that and picking ones that we can doodle off of, and I've been doing that for my Friday night streams. But I thought that I owe Heidi Lily. You're welcome, Jeri. Tanya says, one of the new books I got today has some fun pottery in it. I bet you it has some good examples, too. I owe Heidi Lily some happy mail. And I've been telling her, I don't mean to put her off, but she's been so kind to me. Well, one of the reasons I haven't gotten it off is that I have to package it a little bit differently because it's an odd size. I'm going to send her one of those wooden tree forms that I use for my jelly plating. But I thought I noticed when I did this in one of my recent videos that Heidi said anybody would appreciate receiving an envelope like that. So I thought, I need to do one for Heidi. Heidi Lily sent me a package of Happy Mail, and I was going to send her some, and Meri. So this envelope that I'm doing now, well, I'm going to slow it down. It's not going to be in fast forward. I'm going to show you how I do all of these doodles. And I'm not going to show you the links that I took them off of. I'm just going to use this as an example. But if you go in my past video streams on Friday night, I do have links to the pottery fragments, the public access images. Thank you, Tanya. Yeah, thank you, Tanya. I appreciate you guys putting in those links. Okay, Lynn, that would be great. You PM me later. Hi, Linda McAllister. You're worried about Pierre? Pierre? Don't worry about Pierre. He's here. I'm going to work on him next week. You guys are getting me off onto a rabbit trail. Here's Pierre. And I'm getting ready to next week. We're going to put facial hair on him. We're going to put facial hair on Pierre, and it's gray. It's a gray color. It's gray. Annie V sent this to me. Annie V, I don't know how I got into her good graces. I got into Annie V's good graces, and she's actually cleaning out some things out of her studio, and she sent me several things. And this is kind of a grayish color of doll hair. Dollhouse. It's called Dollhouse Draper. That's what's on the label. But I'm going to use glossy accents. I'm going to paint his eyes first and put some eyebrows on him. But Pierre's in good shape. And I found my little skunk. I found Peppy. He was hiding underneath of all that stuff I had out in the center of the floor. And I found his tail, but they're still at the same spot. But no, I haven't given up on Pierre yet. He's still a going dude here. I haven't done much to him. But I'm not going to work on him today. I want to work on these doodles. I'm going to put it over here. So let's see. What else are you guys chatting? I'm learning how to read the chat off of my laptop rather than off of my phone here. I have the phone for in case I couldn't find a chat, but chat popped up this time. Hi, Kathy Berg. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, thank you for doing that. Yeah, he's alive, Linda. He's ready for a facial. He was off resting. He might be embarrassed because he has no hair. Is Ian in the house? Was Ian in the house? Did Ian come in and I missed him? Hi, Ian, if you're here. Recycled Parts for Art says, Art, it will let you get to the main page, so I just grabbed the one. Yeah, you can. There's also a public access. If you go to the Metropolitan Museum of Art, and if you're browsing through their collections, look for a little square down in the lower right. Say this is your photograph here. Look for a little square here. And I think it has a Q or an O or something in it. I don't know exactly what it has inside of that little square, but that means that it's in the public domain. But there is also a link to the public access library at the Museum of Art. And I have that probably in my first, I might have it in the second one. My first Doodle Art Challenge, I know I have it in the first one, and I'll try to get it out there on this. Yeah, there's Ian. Hi, Ian. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Heidi. Heidi, this envelope's for you. This envelope is for you. Let me turn on another light here. Ooh, that's kind of bright. But that'll, there. All right, I'm going to get started. The first thing I want to tell you is I get these markers. They're pen plus gear right here. Pen, well, pen, there. Pen plus gear markers. I get them at Walmart. And if you're lucky to have them retail at Walmart, you're looking over their pen section. You might have to kind of hunt for them. I think my Walmart has wised up since I grab them every time I go shopping, because you don't always find them, but they seem to have a good stock of them the last time I went in. But they're only 44 cents for both pens, which means that you pay 22 cents a pen. Now, I use this pen. I will say that this probably still has good ink in it. But since I want a nice dark ink when I'm doing these, and since these are not expensive, I'm going to use fresh markers. Hi, Journey. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, Heidi, this envelope's from you. Now, I'm going to send you the other Happy Mail that I said I would send you, but I thought when I saw your comment, Heidi, in the other video, I thought I should do one of these for Heidi because I'm not getting her other Happy Mail out. And these are not hard to do. I put it into fast forward in my other video because it takes me maybe an hour and a half to do one of these. maybe not quite that long, depending. I have to kind of figure out where I'm going to put things. You can never find them. I'm going to send you some, Heidi. I don't know if I can put them in this envelope, but when I send that other package, maybe I'll just drop some in a smaller envelope, because I've got them for you. I just haven't gotten them sent out. I've been very neglectful of Heidi. Oh, and so this envelope for sure is for you, Heidi. So I fold this flap under, so I know where that line is, and I start making lines here. And I do say, if you can afford it, use a fresh pen, unless you don't care if you're going to paint over it or anything like that. I'll use those other markers on other things. But then I start marking off my areas here. So I have a general idea of where now, and it may not be the same on everyone, but since I'm using this one, let's flip it over. I'm using this one as an example. I may do the same motifs here. Bye, Tanya. Thanks for peeking in. Okay, yeah, I know how that goes, Tanya. No food since breakfast. Hi, door to my journal, Don Boss. Welcome. And did I see Carl was in here? Hi, Carl. Hey, I also want to say, if I miss you coming in, you're certainly welcome in here. Sometimes I don't know why. I just don't catch everybody. I don't catch everybody coming in, and sometimes I'm so embarrassed because, you know, some people feel like I've said 20 million things to Meri and she doesn't answer me. And I know that feeling because I used to feel like that a lot before I did my live streams. I'm going, is she mad at me? What did I do to her? You know, and actually you haven't done anything. It's just that the chat sometimes, and I'm learning to use the chat on my laptop, which is off to my side here instead of in front of me. So it's just that if I don't notice you or acknowledge what you said to me, and I will say it helps a lot if you're able to put that @ sign in front of my channel name. So if you go, let me pull my pad out here. If you do @ sign, that's an @ sign, the capital T, you have to type it like it shows up, but no spaces, at the capital MERI, capital ATELIER. Be sure you put that @ sign and put it just like this. That will highlight your comment. And yeah, there, Janet. Hi, Janet. See, I didn't even notice Janet come in, and she put that in there, and I'm more apt to see it if you're saying something to me, and if I go back, if I'm concentrating on what I'm doing here or talking about to somebody else about something, I may miss your question completely. So it's not intentional. Believe me, it's not intentional. I need to put my notes over to the side. Put my scissors over to the side. Janet, Linda says. Carl Riley is in the door, in the house, and I was reading door to my journal. Okay, so I'm just going to, let's see, I think I'll finish this out somewhat like the layout is of this. It may not be exact, but it'll be similar. And I'll do similar designs here, and I want to do them in real time so you can see how these are executed. Now I think I need to divide this one. Let's divide this one right here. And I'm not saying I don't measure, so my lines may not be exactly straight, but there you go. Now I need to divide out this area. I say a fat one, a skinny one, and a fat one. So let's go. And when I mean fat, I mean more height to it. So let's go here and maybe bring this down just a little bit here. And then I have this area here where I'm going to divide it maybe right in here. And there's my layout. So now I'm just going to go in and I actually went out and looked when I did my Friday night streams, when we did our doodle challenges. I actually went out. My journal's in the other room. I was journaling this afternoon. So I don't have it right here with me, but I actually went out to those live stream sessions where I did those pages and looked at them. So let's start with an easy one. Let's start with this zigzag line and the hearts. And this was actually on a piece of pottery, which I found very interesting that the zigzag did not surprise me, but the hearts surprised me, that they would do cutesy hearts. I call these cutesy hearts. They actually did that way back then in the, well, I suppose this is Egyptian or Phoenician or whatever, but they did hearts. So all I do this by hand. I just draw me a zigzag line. Doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to be the same size, whatever you're comfortable with, a zigzag line. And then I go in and do a bottom line like this because I want it to be wider. And here again, I'm not paying attention to, this is a doodle. This is not meant to be precise art. This is a doodle. This is a doodle envelope. And then I just go in and color this in. And this is usually what takes me the time is when I do the coloring in. But I do like, oh, and here's another thing that I do. Let's reach for this envelope. One of these, I've got, still have them in there. I do, since these envelopes, did I pull them out? Is it in this one? I must have pulled them out. No, here they are. I take a couple of magazine pages and put in here. I think I got these envelopes at the dollar store. So they're not a heavyweight paper. Now, where was I? I was on this one. So let's put, you see, and it does soak through. Your marker will soak through. So to prevent it from soaking through to the back really bad, I just take and put some paper in there to catch it. So I just put it in there like this. And sometimes it doesn't go clear to the top, but that's okay. So Susan's in the house. Hi, Suze. Hi, Kendra. Thank you, Mitzi. Hi, Mitzi. Welcome, welcome. I'm kind of looking at chat. Patricia Struford, hi. Mary and everyone. It is snowing in Iowa. It's snowing in Iowa. We had a decent day here in Nebraska. Huh. Must be going north of us a little. Hello to everyone who's come in. Okay, I'm going to go back to this. I just want to fill this in. And I just fill them in, you know, just like you're doodling on your paper. And, you know, this is something you really could take it with you if you're going to, like the doctor's office or wherever you doodle, or I don't know, maybe just going out for a day at the library or something. I don't know whether if you take classes would be. I wouldn't say to doodle in church, but you might get reprimanded afterwards. Here's a funny story. And I laugh at it now. It kind of took me back when it happened, but it was summer and I went to church and I was sitting there and I was in my 40s and 50s, I have to tell you, but I was fanning myself. It was so hot in there. I don't know if it was the church bulletin or what, but I was really fanning myself. I was hot. And afterwards, one of the older ladies drew me aside and said, Meri, you can get some of those little battery-operated personal fans. She says, you have that problem too. And I kind of laughed. I thought, well, it's hot in this, you know, it was in the, and I cannot sit in the middle of a church pew. I'm sorry, I don't care if you're going to walk in my pew, and if I beat you to the end row, you're going to have to crawl over me, because there's no way that I'm going to sit in the center of a church pew with all those people around me, and I just get hot. I just suffocate. And anyway, I commented. I said, "Well, I had a piece of paper. I said, I don't want to go buy a personal fan. It'll be a distraction." And she looked at me and she said, "You were a distraction." And I thought, well, that's the first time I heard of a lady being a distraction if she was fanning herself in church. Now, I kind of went slanted here. My line kind of went a little slanty, but that's okay. I could probably put another little heart in here and maybe make up a little for that. So there's a story for you. Okay, how simple was that? That's one doodle. Very easy. Let's do this one down here. This one looks hard, but it's really easy. Thank you, Lynn. Doodling would keep me from falling asleep. It probably would, Holly. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you, Annie Rowe. Let's see. Yeah, that's how you stayed awake in school. Well, Holly, you must have really practiced, because your art is, I love your art. I love what I see you post on Facebook. I'm going to take a sip of tea. All right. So this one, I start out by drawing I call them circles, but they're really ovals. So let's just draw some empty ovals on here like this. And they don't have to come clear to the bottom. If you want to, you can. Like I usually have them start at a point here, but I really don't finish out the point down here. And they should really kind of be touching. So let's do another one. Just a bunch of empty. And they don't have to be perfect. None of mine are perfect. None of mine are perfect. And just draw them like this. Sometimes I make them different sizes. Sometimes I want them, I realize that I think that's a little too skinny, so the next one I might make a little heavier. I mean, a little wider. So let's just draw our empties here. I call these empties. And then right there. Now, at this point, let's go in and do a double line. Can you see I have a double line along the outside here? So all I do is come in here and draw a little double line, and that kind of gives it some dimension. It's not hard, just double line it, just kind of along the top there, like that, and the same thing on the bottom. Like this. Now we're going to do the centerpieces. And the centerpieces, you want to, this is a good example right here, this one. See, I ended the end of this kind of a leaf shape. I ended it, the point, the bottom point is probably about 1/4 of an inch, maybe even 1/2 of an inch from the bottom, more like 1/4. So you want to start at the top, and you're just going to draw a curve, but you don't want to bring that curve clear down to the bottom. You want to kind of curve it down and loop it that way. So this end point actually comes to the end of your circle. And then do the same thing here, and those lines will cross. And you'll have a little crossed line at the bottom of that cylinder. So let's do another one. I start here, kind of curve it down, let it touch the end point over here, same thing here, and let it touch the end there. And that leaves that little area right in there where they cross over. This one's going to be a little skinnier. And you just draw them like that. Start at the point, follow the curve, and end it on the bottom right. Start at the point up here, draw a curve, and end it on the bottom left. And those lines will actually intersect. And after you do these a couple times, you'll get it. Now all I have to do is go in and color in the shading. I color in the negative space. I leave my double line there, but I color in the negative space, these shapes at the top and bottom. And I'll show you something else here in a minute. And you can do all of these at once, or if you get impatient like me and want to start seeing something come out of this, you can start shading in your leaf. I really like these Pen Plus gear lines because they are nice and juicy when you open them. And I will say that by the time you do an entire envelope with one, I do use a lot of ink on these. So I like to get a fresh one when I start a new envelope. As if I've done a million of these. This is my third one. But I've noticed that, you know, there is still ink in this pen, but it's not fresh and juicy ink. And the fresh, juicy ink gives you a nice coverage. Okay, let's go in here and color in my little shapes in between, top and bottom. And this is usually what takes the time. It isn't drawing the designs, it's finishing them up. And sometimes I get a little close. Don't worry about it. Most of the time, unless people are studying your design, they're just going to look at it and say, oh, Meri, that's nice. And they aren't going to say, oh, where did she goof on there? So, well, some of you might say that. So I'm just coloring in the bottoms in between here and the tops. Coloring in these, not the bottoms here. I'm leaving these inside of the oval. I'm leaving them blank. It's in between the two outer ovals that I'm coloring them in. All right. Now here's something else I want to show you or tell you about is as I did this, my pen naturally leaves little where I stop and start, little points there. So I like a nice even line. So I do take my ruler. On these. Generally, I don't use a ruler when I draw, but I take my ruler and even them out so they look nice and fresh. I'm not a technical person to where I do a lot of measuring, and if you're a quilter, you know, it's probably one reason why I don't quilt. I had to laugh because Tanya was cutting 2-inch squares off the paper cutter and I was ripping them apart. All right, so there's that. So let's do this one down here. It's fairly easy. Let's look at chat. Hi, Sun and Moon Rosa. Hi, Ruth Lamb. Ian said goodbye. Bye, Ian. Thanks for stopping in. My little Norton security pops up in front of my chat window. Thank you, Rosa. Let's see. One thing about chatting on the laptop, it's a little harder for me to scroll through chat. I can scroll easier, although I sometimes fat finger it. I can scroll easier on my phone. But let's go ahead and do this one. And I usually try to start, now I only have 2 here, so let's put 2 here. And I try to start with the center leaf, like here's the center leaf. But I have to be sure to leave enough room on the left-hand side for these 2 leaves. So let's make it, shall I make it right underneath this? No, let's make it just a little, let's make my center one here. And just draw a little leaf-like shape. And I usually shade it in as I go on these. And then draw another one kind of slanted like this. Very easy. And especially if some of you are Zentangle and Doodle masters. I wouldn't call myself a Doodle master, but I'm having fun doing these. And then do another one over here. And you can have them touching, or you could leave space. I see on this one I made them touch, so I'm just going to let the leaves touch there. So just kind of fill it in. And then you want to do the same thing on this side. And by the time you get done, you have a nice little design. And another one here. Now this one I may go clear up. Do I want this one to go clear up too? I think I'm going to make this leaf on this one. See, this is where I sometimes deviate. On this one, my outer leaf goes clear to the top. My outer leaf over here only goes, it's probably about a half an inch, maybe a fourth of it, little, maybe 5/8 of an inch. And here it's a good half of an inch. But I think it would be out of sync for this one to go up at the top. So I am just going to make it kind of even with that one and go right there. I can always extend it if I want. Okay. Now, since I've already found the center point here, I can pretty much just play off of this one and make my outer leaf. I think I'll make my outer leaf here kind of the same size. And let's see. Let's just do one up at the top here, kind of slanty. And then here's my center one. And actually, this one is bigger than this one. Let's give this one a little bit more width. And put this one in. And then make this one. And then just color them in. Whoops, see, I goofed there, but I can fatten him up. That's one thing I noticed Shannon Green said when Shannon does beautiful doodles. And Shannon Green is, her doodles, just my mouth pops open. She hasn't been doing a lot of them lately, but she has some beautiful doodles out there. But she would say, my fat lines are covering up my goofs. I know she said that in one video. I just kind of giggled. So let's just color it in. Very simple to do this. But I thought that you guys would like to see these done real time instead of, because I do, when I put those videos in fast forward, they're really in fast forward because I'm trying to shorten the video. All right. Now, on this one, I don't mind the negative space. But something about this negative space is not talking to me here. So I am just going to go in here and shade it out. Just for the fun of it. Just because it's a doodle and I feel like doodling. And because I did it there, I want to do it down here in the corner. Right? And maybe just a little one over here. It doesn't have to be the same size. Now, do I want to do it in here? Yes, I do. And in here. So, see, I've even changed this design to this design. That, you know, it's just that. Now, I don't think I'll put anything in here. That's really good, right? Like it is, because if I tried to put anything in there, it might be too much. And I'd probably color it where I didn't want it colored or blacked out. Okay, so there we go. There's that one. So I've done 3. How about this curvy line here? Well, here. It's hard for me to look at the laptop and point. This curvy line, I'm going, oh my goodness. So what that actually is this curvy line. This curvy line was actually a doodle right in here that, well, I got my hand over it. It was a doodle that we did in one of our Friday night streams, just this part. But I've taken it, now I'm not sure that I like this side. I might change that. But I took it over here into this area. And all you have to do is start your swirl. Start your swirl. And I like to make a deep bowl here. I call it a deep bowl because the reason why is in this space right here, I want enough room to put another swirl. And I actually turn my page upside down when I do that. So I'm just going to put another swirl in here and make another deep bowl like that. And then I flip it over and do another one. And that's really about all I do for that. And just keep going. Let's see. Did I do what? Yeah, let's see. What did I do here? Yeah. Like that. That one may not have as many swirls in it, but that's okay. And then we'll do one more here. And we'll bring it in. Now, after I've done that, I like to make the stem, if you want to call it the stem, I like to make that a little wider and a little curvier. So I go back in and just darken up those lines. And I really like that effect. Just kind of darken the lines. Now on this one, I put little hearts inside. On the one I did on this other envelope, I think I put diamonds inside of it. Let's see, what did I do? Yeah, on this one, I put diamonds in it. So I think I'll stick with the hearts. And you don't have to put a heart in there if you don't want. You could leave it blank or put flowers or stars or anything you want. But I put little hearts in there to kind of coordinate with the hearts over there. You don't need a lot of them, just a few. I think I'll put one down in here. So there's that. How easy is that? Let's do what I call the booty line. I call this the booty line. But Annie V messaged me. She likes to talk to me in email when she messages me. And she said, Meri, she said, that what you're calling as a booty line is really in art history. She seems to know a lot of her art history. She calls that the Greek key. I guess that's the official name for it, is the Greek key. I like to call it the booty line. And that's really easy. Now, on this one, I left a little bottom area in here. But on my other one, I noticed when I did my other booty line, did I do it on here? Did I put a booty line on? Yeah, I did it down here. Well, I guess I did leave a space. On one that I was doing, I did not leave a space down here at the bottom. And you really want to leave that space. So let's do, and the way I do it is I start out at the top. And I draw my boot. Here comes the train. But you want to stop it. You want to stop it before you get to the bottom because you want a little line underneath here all the way over. So there you go. Now when I very first did this and in my live stream, I drew from here. But I find it's easier if you go up here and draw your second boot starting up here. It's easier to get this space in there, rather than trying to estimate how far you got to go over to allow for this area. So there's my second boot. So I just keep going over. Let's just do this while I'm talking here. And they don't have to be they probably are the same size on the vases, but I don't worry about them being the same size or being the same distance apart. I don't worry about that on this because I'm really just having fun with these. So here are my booty line. Booties. I call them boots because they look actually like this. Well, no, like this. They look like little feet to me. Little feet. So let's do it again here. Just draw them all the way over. Like I said, I don't worry about them being the same size or the same distance apart. I don't worry about those things on my envelope. Now, if I was trying to do if I was teaching a class or, you know, for money or selling art or something like that, I might worry about perfection a little bit more than I do. Now, I like to go in and add some dimension. So I just start by, let's see, on this one I did the top and the two sides is what I did. So the top, and I just make it darker, a darker line. So let's do the side, side here, all the way over, like that. One more. And I thought you guys would enjoy seeing these done in real time instead of me speeding through it. I like to put these type of videos when I do standalone videos into fast forward, because it just cuts down. And I really do think that most of the time your eye will follow what's happening here in fast forward. Let's see. Let's darken this one, darken this one. I got to darken these at the bottom here. I guess I did not darken the bottoms here, but I did here. Oh, well, they're dark now. Let's see. This. What did I do here? Oh, I see. Okay, I'm still good. This and this. All right. Now on some of them, and I can see here, I came in and I drew a second line there. So let's do that. Let's draw another little second line coming there. May not have enough space in some of these, but I'll get it in there. Some of these are a little bit closer together than what maybe they should be, but there you go. Oh, here too. Whoops, second line. Now, another thing I like to do is draw a little black square underneath of these. Just, I don't know. I just like to do it. This really is not on the doodle. It's not on the base itself, but I like the look of just putting a little black rectangle square underneath of these. It just depends on where you want to take it. So there's my booty line. There's my booty line. So now we're getting this page filled up. Let's do this. Let's do this. And that's that swirl here thing again here with the leaves going out. And what did I do here? I think I did these upside down. I really wanted these lines to come this way. I didn't do these right. So, well, there is no right or wrong. I didn't do them the same way. So I'm going to start here. And I'm going to draw my swirl. Draw my swirl. Give it a deep bowl. Let it come down this way. Put another swirl in here. May not be the same size. Give it a bowl and let it come down. Now, I have on this one here, I put my little swirl right in there. So that's what I'm going to do here. Just make another little swirl in there. And you know what? I think I'll do another one. Let's see. Let's draw my center leaves. Let's draw those in now so I can get a sense of where I need to stop and start with these swirls. Right there. Right there. I'm not watching chat, by the way. I'm drawing my doodles. Okay. Now, I can't really get one in there, so I do think I'll put one right here. And I think I'm just going to bring it down that way. Maybe I'll put another little one in here. You can just kind of play with these. Now, this side here is really hard for me. I don't know why I can't quite get that same action going from right to left as I can from left to right. And I think that was my problem here. So I turned it upside down and I went this way. And I don't think that really worked. I'm going to try coming over here. Instead of here, I'm going to try starting here. So let's see what I do. Let's just play with one. So I do my swirl and then come down. Leave my bowl line that way. Let's try it. Let's try it. That's about all you can do. If it's weird looking, it just blends in with the rest of the stuff. Do it like that. Do another swirl here. Bring it down like that. And then I like to put, well, let's put the other little one in here and bring it down like that. Whoops, that one didn't. Well, I'll come back to that. Now I have room for these two. So we'll do one right here and bring it in like this. That one's, see, I don't do as fancy of a job on these. I need to practice my right-hand side ones. But let's put another one. Let's put a little one in there. Maybe fatten that leaf a little. And then I do like to go back in and put, I like to darken the lines. I like the contrast. I like the contrast of the darker lines here. Let's see. Maybe that will help this one a little more. I have to say, I think this one's better than this one. But this is what, when you practice, you'll get better at these. I'm not saying I'm perfect. Do this one. Darken this line. I think these dark lines add a lot to them. And make a dark line here. There. Now on one of these, what did I do on? I guess it's on my other envelope. We'll do that on the other envelope. So there's that. I want to say how simple was that, but I'm not sure it was really simple. I still think I still have my swirls upside down. They need to come like this, and I've got them backwards. But that's okay. That's how my hand saw it. They really needed to come. They needed to come this way. So on the next one, I'll do it differently. It's not bad. It's just not where I was wanting to go with it yet. So let's do this line here. Let's see what's going on in chat. Did Linda leave? Bye, Linda. She says, bye, Meri. Bye, Linda. Thanks for coming. Sleep well. Ian says, we'll catch up with you all later. Bed for me. Bye-bye. Bye, Ian. Am I down at the end of my chat? Oh, I'm not down at the end of the chat here. Let me see if I can. I don't like how this, I don't like the zoom. I don't like the, am I down to the bottom yet? Yeah, I guess I am. Annie Rose says, perfection is boring. Oh, there's Giovanna. Hi, Giovanna. Welcome. Heidi says, Meri, please make sure you sign the envelope. I will. Thank you, Heidi. I will do that. Thank you, Janet. Heidi's leaving. She said good night. Jeri, I think, left. She said good night. All right. Well, there we go. Hi, Aunt Beck. Aunt Beck said, true. Perfection is boring. Auntie Rose said perfection is boring, and Aunt Beck said true. Cheryl's taking a cat nap. Am I boring you, Cheryl? All right. I see this needs another little heart here. There. Okay. So we're going to do this one. And all we're doing here is we're making some cylinders. Don't go all the way to the top. And we're rounding them up at the top. And the same thing with these. I don't always get them all the same size. And they look a little weird as you're doing them, but by the time you get done, it all comes together. And I tried to make them the same height, but, you know, I don't always accomplish that. And I do shade these in as I go for some reason. There. And this actually came off of a piece of pottery too. So this really, I can't say that what we're doing is we're going out there and looking at art that's in the public domain, but a lot of this, I mean, like this is pottery that was done centuries ago. Greek and Etruscan and Egyptian. And I often wonder who painted all those potteries. You know, I'm going, I'll bet you, I wonder if maybe a teenage girl, you know, because they didn't have school back then. I mean, for girls, at least, I know. But maybe, you know, maybe a young girl was helping out the family, making vessels for the family, whatever, water vessels or whatever they put in them. Maybe she painted all of these. So these, if I had to credit anybody, you have to kind of credit them, the unknown artiste. Or maybe it was a wife helping out her husband, or maybe it was a man just doing his business, you know, making pottery and selling it. All right. So what you do here for these lines at the top, you skip 2. You make a circle, but you skip 2 in between. So I'm going from 1 to 4, from 2 to 5, from 3 to 6, from 4 to 7, from 5 to 8, from 6 to 9, I'm hoping I'm right, from 7 to 10, from 8 to 11. Now 9 goes off the page and 10 goes off the page. You have 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then you come back in and they put dots right in here. And so I do try to get a line of dots in there. Sometimes in my designs, I have them so close together that I don't really get a lot of visible dots. So I do come in, but I think what I did on my last one is I made some little lines, connecting lines here, and it makes it look like a fence. And I just drew little horizontal lines. It makes it look almost like a picket fence. And I kind of like that. That's kind of my own touch. So there's that. So what do you want to tackle next? Let's see. I don't have, oh no, that goes on the flap, so I'm okay. Let's do this one. On this one, and sometimes I think if you relax and not worry about it being perfect, I think that you're more relaxed, and I really do think it turns out better. Now, the next thing I did was shade in my negative space here and at the bottom, the lower corner. And again, I'll come in and I'll take my ruler and shade in this, draw this line a little bit better, because I tend to, when I shade, I tend to have little notches that go outside of the ovals. And I imagine if I'd slow down, and I think I do when I'm by myself, if I slow down, I'm a little bit neater. But when I'm doing a live stream, I'm conscious of my time. How long have I been on here? Almost an hour. So it takes me a little bit longer to do this live because I'm trying to explain what I'm doing as I'm going. I think I completed my last envelope in an hour and a half. I timed myself, and it took me an hour and a half. But I won't get this one done in an hour and a half. So if you need to go, don't feel bad. I won't put a lock on the door. Lock them in. Once they get in, they're here. They can't get out. All right. I did that kind of fast and scratchy, but you get the idea. Then I come in and let's see. I actually did another. Well, I will here. I did another line in here to make these dark lines here. So let's go ahead and do that. Some of these will get probably smaller, but I just darken these lines to make them a little fatter. However you want. Like that. And then the last thing I do is come in and put in the centerpiece, which is just a little center leaf. That one isn't too great, but we'll leave it. And put in a little center leaf. Like that. And like that. Yeah, you get a little line in there. Now, because I got that messy line there, I do like to take my ruler. See, there's several messies in there, and I do like to take my ruler and just straighten out that area a little. Because, like I said, this is just a doodle, but I find it cleans it up just a little. And I might need to do that just a little bit more here. Let's do it over here too. Only, yeah. Well, let's do it this way. I can see more where I'm going here. There. How fun was that? Now I've only got 2 squares left here. Hi, Vicki S. Welcome. You had to do this for a swap in April? Cool. Cool school. Well, I'll tell you, I'm having fun with these. I'm really not a doodle person, but I've been having fun looking at examples on those pottery shards. Let's do this one. This one's very easy. Kind of find your center point here and draw a big leaf. Then draw another leaf. And then another one. See, those aren't perfect. They're not perfect, but that's the point. Draw one there, and maybe one coming out here. And then what I did is I did my double line here. And I do the double line in the center rather than on the outside. In the inside the leaf, I should say, is where I put the double line. And this one's going to be a little hard to do because it's skinny, but we will do it. And another one here. And another one here. And then I shade these in. I will say that I think the shading is what takes me the longest. Although when you're only using black, it goes a lot faster because you don't have to figure out the colors and find the inks and pens and all of that. You can work with the pen in your hand. Do it like this. Kind of shade it in. Very simple to do, but how dramatic when it's all done on one side. It really comes together, doesn't it? I think that when I do my other chats, my other live streams, I'm going to open up my phone because I'm having trouble having to go over and look at my chat on my laptop. It's not in front of me, and I don't want to put my laptop in front of me because I splatter paint and gunk on it, and I don't want to get my laptop all messed up. So there we go. There's that. Now, the only thing I do now is I come in and I make a line around these and start coloring in the negative space, but I leave a line around them like that. And then I just start shading it in like that. And you might even want to do the little corner down here. Shade it all in. Bring another one in this way, shade it in. I just thought you guys would like to see this happen in real time rather than the fast forward motion. The fast forward, you see it happen in front of your eyes, but it's not the same as somebody walking you through how they did that doodle. Let's see, I think I'll just curve it just a little there. I might make this a little skinnier. And let's put a little line here. And maybe a line in here. There we go. How fun was that? Now we just have this one to do. And this looks a lot harder than it is. I start out, kind of find your center point again. My center point's right about there. I just eyeball it. And then you do these 2 loops at the top. Just like that, swirly loops. And then you do another one over here. And for some reason, and once I get one done, the other one's harder for me. For some reason. And you can make them touch if you want. I notice I don't have these 2 touching. Maybe I'll thicken these lines a little. There. And then make a little, I kind of make a little diamond thing here. Like that. And I draw these out before I shade them in. I start with my center and I call these leaves. Like that. Now this one, let's just draw it. It comes this way, but when you get to the top, you curve and you do kind of a angle line. And then you bring it down and curve and meet that angle line. And do the same thing here, but make it a little shorter, maybe a little bit underneath. Like that. And then maybe one more. Like this. And then I put in another little something, a little shape in there just to kind of fill it out. And so you want to do the same thing over here. You don't have to have them a mirror image. If you're worried about mirror images, go for it. But mine never turn out to be mirror image. They look something like it. And then like that. Maybe one more. Like that. Put in a little shape in here. And then I've been doing a little shape up in here too. You can do as you wish. A little shape in there. And now all you have to do is go in and shade in everything. Just like this. Shade it in, shade it in. Can almost sing a song. I won't. Almost sounded like a basketball cheer. Shade it in, shade it in. I was in the pep club. Of course, everybody in our school was in the pep club. We're a small school. We had to cheer on our 5-member basketball team. They did pretty good. I'm not complaining. I actually like basketball better than I did football. I can understand the rules with basketball and baseball. I like to watch baseball because I can understand the rules. Football, I'm lost. Those guys, they all tackle each other and they all get in a huddle and tangle up each other for all of that little ball, and I'm lost to what they're doing. And then I have to wait 10 minutes between each time that I get kind of bored with football. I'd rather watch people watching football than watch football. I like to watch the people that watch it. They get all excited about the game and they yell at the TV, and it's more fun to watch people watch it than to watch it. And when I was in school, I worked in a nursing home. And football Saturday back then was a big deal. I mean, we're number one. That was the chant in Nebraska football back in the 70s. We're number one. And all the little grandmas and grandpas would have their red hats on and red sweaters with the big white N. It was a big deal out there in the whole town. Almost every town in Nebraska. Football Saturday was a big, big deal. But I like to watch the little grandmas and grandpas. Now I'm a grandma, grandpa, or I'm that age group. I'm not a grandma. All right, so there we go. Now I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to kind of darken some of these lines in here just to kind of define them, but kind of clean it up a little too. Kind of clean it up just a little, make it a little, whoops, that may be a little too much, but we'll go ahead and shade it in. Just to give it a little bit more. Now I'll turn this one around. And I haven't been doing that along the edge of the envelope. I've been leaving the edges here clean. Now I may change that later, but I'm not going to do that on here. So let's do this one. To me, this just kind of cleans it up a little. Actually, I think I want to come at it the other way. Come at it this way. It gives it a nice smooth line. It doesn't have all those little bumps and nicks from my coloring in it. And let's do this line. And this line. There we go. All right, so we've got the front done. Now I'm going to do the flap. And what I did here was I actually folded this flap over like this. And I don't know if I can do it on this. Let's try it. I just took my pen and I followed the flap shape. And hopefully I can do this without making a slidey mark. Oh, I did a little slide mark there. Those usually get covered up. Whoops, I blew it there. Let's make this thicker. Yeah. I should start with my ruler anyway. I don't. I like to play with it. Now let's just color this line a little bit more. And then I made a line here. Let's fix this line. So I usually do this flap separately. Now I'm not keen on this. It's okay. I like it. It's kind of like a, I don't know, wings. But I like this. I'm more keen on this one, so I'm going to do this one on here. So we'll just get it out. And this is easy. You can almost see what I did. I make a circle, more of a round circle than an oval on these because they look like wheels. As round as you can make it, that is. like this. Like this and this. There we go. And then I do the inner lines. So let's make another. Let's just do 2 of them here. Let's do it as we go. Make a little circle there. Let's put the inner circle in here. Doesn't have to be exactly in the center, just sort of there. And then do the, and of course it's not going to be perfect. That one looks a little, it looks better once I come back and shade them in. I'm really just drawing circles and circles here. Hand drawing. Nothing perfect. You could use a compass. You could use lids. You could do whatever. I'm just doing it by hand. I'm not worrying. I'm doodling. Once you start worrying about it, I think you've gone beyond a doodle. Maybe you've gone to Zentango or something, but doodling is really supposed to be relaxing. You're not supposed to have to worry about, is it perfect or anything like that. You're just getting in there and playing with your pen and your paper. In Mary's opinion. That's what Meri thinks. Let's go this way. Gosh, I'm getting thirsty again. I did have to, I ate a sandwich for supper tonight, but I had some potato chips with it. And I think that's what's making me thirsty. Those potato chips were a little salty. Are you all bored with my doodling now? I just thought you'd like to see this happen real time. And I wanted to do an envelope for Heidi. Now I just come in and I start shading. And in fact, I think what I'm going to do on these, for the fun of it, is break out. These are chisel tip. This is like a Sharpie point, you know, like a pin point, a medium point. But these are chisel. Let's get them out. They're the same price, 54 cents for 2. I love Walmart. I love these at Walmart. They're pin plus gear. Let's see if I can't make more of an even line going around here with my chisel point. Find the... Well, not perfect, but it's there. See, I don't have to go over it so many times with this chisel point. I just do one big thick line. And I probably should have done that before I drew everything in, but oh well. This is how I did it. You can improve on it as you go. Now let's do the little, let's see, did I color them in here? No, I left them white. So let's just do the little flower petals. I'm not following chat. And so if you ask me a question, I probably won't see it I may not see it till I close everything down. I do go back and read my chat replays, because I try to catch things that I may need to be aware of. Like, I talked to you 20 times, Meri, and you didn't see me. All right. So there's that. Now the only other thing I do is fill in the negative space here. Fill in the negative space. It's a little bit harder to fill in this negative space with this, but we'll do it. And I'm not saying these are the best doodles around, but I tell you, once you get a page of them done and you look at the entire page, it really does come together. It's really striking. Look at that. You know, and I almost want to on these is to go out and outline this with my chisel tip. Let's do that. I might do that on the other envelopes. I didn't do it, but the more I think about it, the more I think I will. Let's just give it some. Yeah, I kind of like that. Well, I think I wanted it a little bit wider, though. Not too much more. You won't have any space. There. Let's just do all the sides here. Yep, so I'm going off of the envelope there. Yeah, I'm liking that. I'm going to go back and do that to these. Okay, let's flip over and see. Well, now see, I did not have anything on the bottom here. And see how they soaked through? This is the back side of this. Well, actually, you can, if they tear this envelope apart, I don't know, look inside the envelope. Can you see? If they tear this envelope apart, they'll get a nice area on the back side. This marker covers both colors, and it does it all the way through. This one probably does too. I never really looked on the inside. I just, yeah, see, it does. So they'll have front and back here. They'll have front and back of these envelopes. I never really looked on the inside. Cool. They'll have some nice journal pages. And I don't do this area because this will be glued down. Once I put stuff in it, it'll be glued down. So I leave this flat. So what I do on these is I do fold this down, fold this down. So what I do is I mark these out again on the back. And I started right here at the edge where your envelope starts to curve. I put my ruler there. And I'm not going to do the chisel one. Let's go back to my pen. That's what I'm comfortable using for these. So I start marking out this area. Now on this one, I kind of know what I want because I'm using these as an example. So it's a little bit, this part goes a little faster because I know where I'm going with it. When I did the others, I kind of had to figure out what I was going to put in each box. And so we got to fold down here, and that's what I used there. So let's do that line. Only this one isn't as deep, I don't think. I'm going to make it a little deeper. So let's put a fold there, a line there, a box there. And then what I do is, because this side is actually going to be where I put my addresses. If you're going to send this in the mail, you probably want to leave room to address on these. So I just start marking it off. Now I've been having this side, this box come clear to the top, and then I draw a little center box inside of it. I'll show you what I mean. Like this. Like start here, maybe about here, this far down, and just draw over and over. Hopefully I can do this straight. If it's not straight, I don't worry about it too much. It's just the doodle. And then I come in and I make my box in here. So I'll come in maybe about like that. And let's do the same thing over here. and then connect these lines. And of course, this is for your return address. That isn't going to be exactly the same, but that's okay. There. So there's the space for my return address. Now I need a space for, and I just draw a big rectangle. Well, so, and you don't have to make a rectangle. You can make a circle or a oval or whatever you want, or you could put a label on it. Whatever you want to do. Mine on these are rectangles. And you don't have to make them this big either. But I usually try to make these a little bigger because I never know how big the address is or how many lines I'm going to need. And if it's a small address, I can always put a stamp of Penelope in there. She volunteers a lot. Like that. And then I just draw it out here. Draw my little, it's not perfect by any means. I'm not measuring. I'm not, if my ruler slants, it slants. I'm not playing perfection here. I've been trying to watch some, I'm not watching chat at all, you guys. I'm just chattering away. I wanted to tell you, I've been watching some of the creativation videos. I was watching, oh, now she's, I can see her face. She's a blonde. Oh, what's her name? It's not Melody Ross. It's the other one. Oh, well, anyway, I watched her today. I've been watching Tim Holtz. Of course, I watched Shannon Green. All right, now I want to do some of these areas, and I see I got these lines a little bit close. But what I want to do, I want to show you how I did this wavy line in here. So my wavy lines here will be a little bit smaller than what you see here, but I want to show you how I did them. Come down that way. Let's see. Let's just even this off a little here. This one will be a little bit different as far as the shape of the boxes and everything. Yeah, a little bummer in there. All right. So I'm going to turn my paper this way. And I'm thinking line. These wavy circles. Now, if you put your page this way, they look diagonal. But I didn't draw those diagonal. I drew them horizontal. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm just going to start drawing them horizontal. So I start out here, and I'm hoping this will come out the same way. I do my line, and it may not come out the same way because I can already see where we'll do one in here just for the fun of it. All right. So another one come down this way. I might come in just a little in here. Come this way. Put one in here. Yeah, maybe put one in here. This one may not be as pretty as my first one, but usually they turn out. You just got to keep going. Sometimes I don't think they're going to turn out, and they do. All right, now what I do, I want to put in my dark lines. So let's just darken these lines up a little. It makes them just a little bit prettier. And darken this line up a little more. I'm not sure this is going to be as diagonal as the other one. You can kind of see it this way. Oh, I'm going to go on mute for a minute. Our phone is ringing. I'll just draw. Okay, I'm back. I usually take the phone off of the hook when I do these live sessions. I didn't do that today. But yeah, you would hear my brother is deaf and he's getting one of those caption phones. He thinks that's going to help him. I hesitate, but I'm not going to get in his way. It's his life. But if I didn't put myself on mute, you guys would have heard that entire message. Sorry about that. Let's see. Let's put some little diamonds in here. I'm just kind of going to fill in this area. May not be perfect. In fact, it's not. I'll put some little diamond shapes here on the border. Really, my pinpoint is too fat to do this, but there you go. There they are. Yeah, I don't know how that caption phone is going to work as far as messages and everything, because it's supported by the VA. He's a veteran. And, but other members of the family can't really use that phone on a regular basis. It's federally funded. And you go out and look at their website and they warn other members of the family that that's not there for them. So we're having to have two phones. I got my own phone, but sometimes I use his landline. So I don't know. We're going to try it and see how it works. He feels like he can read those messages better than he can. I tell him, well, put in your hearing aid. He doesn't wear his hearing aid around the house. So it's his house. All right. So there we go. Sort of. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm not unhappy with it. So then I come in and I start shading in these negative spaces. And just kind of come in, and I think that adds a lot of elegance to this design, is shading in these negative spaces. Just kind of draw them out and shade them in. Another corner here, in here. Like this. Down in here. And the more you work with this, sometimes the more elegant. It just changes the whole design when you do this. Now, I want the fat line on this guy, so let's put a little shade in there. And there's quite a negative space in there. Like this. A little area in here. This area. Here. All right. Oh, here. All right, so there's that. I'm not following chat. I want to get this done, so I'm just going to keep on moving. Now I'm going to do these two borders. I do them the same on the back here. Actually, let's put it this way, because this is the flap and this is the flap. So I do these two borders the same way. And the way I do it is I do kind of a half circle and a half circle, and I make them meet in the center. A half circle and a half, well, call it a half circle. It's really just the tip of a circle. I can't even call it a complete half circle. It's just kind of like the edge of the top of a circle. And you just keep doing that all the way down till you get to the bottom. Like that. Let's do it on the other side, only I'm going to start from the, I don't know, let's start up here. Oh, up here I need another little half circle here. Kind of like that. And let's see, half circle. Whoops, this one isn't going to meet in the center. I'm going to make it meet in the center. Like that. Half circle, half circle, half circle, half circle. I call them half circles. They're really not half of a circle. They're just kind of the top of a circle. And I just do that all the way down. There. Then I come in and I just draw little diamonds in there and shade them. Not even diamonds. They're just kind of following the shape of the lines of the circles. That's certainly not a diamond. This one is more of a diamond. Just shade it in like this. I'm just kind of shading out the little space in the center is what I'm saying. I call it a diamond, but it's not a complete diamond. Let's do the same thing over here. Now I need my circle going this way. And I'm not following Chad. I kind of want to get this envelope done so we aren't going to be here all night. This one's taking me a little bit longer, but I'm kind of talking my way through it. Okay, then I come in and I shade in the center of these circle round areas in here. I just make a line and shade in the center. Make a line and shade in the center. And I don't worry if I hear my little line here went outside of the area, because I'll come back in with my ruler and take care of that. Clean it up a little with my ruler. And I don't worry to see how thick that line is compared to the others. Of course, I can go in and make it a little thinner, but it's best not to worry about those things. If you worry about it too much, you mess it up. And the more you do these, the better you'll get, the more fun you'll have. Now, I did not get a Doodle 3 challenge done last Friday night. I'm saving it for next Friday night. I got way off onto that abandoned places page longer than I intended. And then we did a list. And I need to get that list out on my community tab. So by the time we got those two things done, there was no time left to do the Doodle challenge. But I have it all set up for next Friday night. So there's that side. And so let's go in and do this side. Maybe I'll do this area a little in here. Very geometric, but very fun to do. Very fun to do these. Squeaky chair. Squeaky chair. All right. Now I just have the borders of the boxes to do. And then on this one, all I did was little slanty lines, like airmail lines. Not hard at all. There's little, I call them airmail lines. I don't know. They might have a better line for that. The little diagonal lines. Doesn't have to be perfect. Nothing in Meri's world is perfect. If you swap art with me, don't expect a nice, neat, prim, and page, because you aren't going to get it. You're going to get all my imperfections. There. Now, this one, I did a little differently, but I kind of messed this up. Let's go in and clean this area up here. Let's just clean this up a little. I say clean it up. I mean, make it even. There, that's a little better. And then I need a border here. Yeah, it's not straight, but okay. And then I just do little triangles like this. Nothing hard about this. You've seen this done all the time. This is just filling in the borders around the address boxes. What? Those potato chips made me thirsty. One more here. Okay, then I come in on one of the boxes, one of the triangles, and put in my dots. I'm not saying I'm consistent. I did them on the outside there and on the inside there, so I'm going to do them on the outside here. And on the inside here. And then let's shade in the others. Hey, we're about done with this envelope. We are. It won't be long now. Meri says. My brother's not home. He gets invited, if not weekly, every other week, to go have dinner with his son and his little granddaughter. He looks forward to that. I chuckle though. And he comes home. I go, "What'd you have to eat?" Sometimes they go out for steak, and I said, "Well, I had a hot dog." And I'll ask him, "What did you do?" And she's into playing school. She likes to play school with her grandpa and grandma. So he'll come home and he'll say, "I went to school again today." She likes to be the teacher, and I guess that's a good thing. She likes to teach him. I got to be the principal over Christmas. All right, so let me shaded that in. So now we just have, this one will be easy. This one will be easy. Let's just kind of divide it up here a little. We've done this one before, so this will go fast. This is the zigzag. And of course I fill it in. Meri's just chattering away. She's not looking at chat. Oh, that's scribbly. I was laughing. So I figure if I got these envelopes that I think I got these at Dollar General. I don't know if I paid $1 or $1. I might have paid just a little over $1 for these. But there were what, 5 envelopes in here? And 44 cents for the ink pens. And how much to mail it? Probably be a little bit more than 50 cents because I'm not mailing them flat. I'm putting something inside of them. So, but I figure that's pretty good art. You know, that's not expensive art. And it's fun to do. This is really mail art. Clean that up a little. There we go. Now, I'll have an area here, but this will be just a little bit different than the envelope that I'm looking at, but let's bring that out to the end there and out to the end here. And let's see, I think I'm going to save that. Let's do this. This we've done before too. This is those open ovals. Open ovals. Same as what we did on the other side, only I'm doing them here. Open ovals. By open, I mean I don't put anything in them while I'm doing this. Like that. And then the double line. Welcome to everybody who's come in. I really have not been following chat. I want to get this done, so I've been kind of concentrating on getting this done. So if you're saying something to me, I'm missing it. And let's just shade these in. I just thought this is a good way to show you doodling in real time rather than in fast forward. I thought you'd like to see it happen in real time and hear me talk through the doodles and how I do them. And this isn't how you have to do them. You know, take these doodles and make them your own. Aunt Beth did some beautiful, beautiful doodles. Oh, I loved them, Aunt Beth. She did some really good doodles when we were doing the ATC challenge. Now we're going to do this, where we make our curve, but make it come to the end of the circle. So curve, and what happens is these two lines will cross maybe about 1/4 of an inch up. So let's go do that. Curve. There. like that. And then you just go in and I think I made these lines a little darker in here. You can make them darker if you want. But just shade them in. I think I'm going to darken my lines a little bit on the sides here. And then just shade these. I think I called these trees. I think I called them trees in when I kind of like to name my doodles according to how I see it. And I saw these as being trees. I can already tell that my pen is not as juicy as when I started. It's still got ink in it, but it's getting a little dry. I'm having to put a little bit more pressure on it to get a dark color. Let's get out that chisel tip. Where is it? But I figure for 22 cents, that's a pretty good deal. All right, now I want to do this area, and it's not hard either. Again, what I did on this one, let's see what I did on my other one. Where's my other envelope? Well, I did the trees up here, and I did the booty line. I think I'm going to do the booty line down here, and this line I did down here. So on this one, I'm going to do this one again. It's a little bit different than this. I could draw here. Let's draw a line here. How about right in here? Let's do something else rather than both of them. Let's where is it? I'll use these as examples. Let's do this one in here because it's fairly simple to do. Get a hold of my chisel tip here. So it's just like this. I loop this. Now I'm using the chisel tip, so these lines are a little bit more, I'm going to say even, not even, thick and thin, which I kind of like. How fun is that? And then I just draw around it like this and shade it in. Now, Heidi wants me to sign this. I think that I'm going to put my address up here. I was thinking I'd sign it in here too. But maybe I'll make a signature line down here. Or maybe I'll sign it right in this area for Heidi. I'll have to figure out where I'm going to sign the others. I guess I'll make this my signature line. Maybe I can even do that here. I can sign that here while we're doodling. Let's curve that a little. There. So what am I going to put there? Well, let's see. What do I want to put there? I could put these, only I could do it this way, which I think I will. Very easy. Go this way. Boy, I can sure tell the difference between a juicy marker and a one that's going dry. There. Now I'm going to put my signature there. So in here, I'm going to put it's kind of a, where is it? Where did I do that? Here. It's a, let me draw it out. You start and you draw your square. It's square inside of a square like this. Like that. So it's kind of like a maze, a mouse maze. One more. This needs to be glued down. My glue is not here. This envelope, you got to check your envelopes. The edges aren't totally glued down. All right. So I want to sign it. If this would be good enough to sign it with or not. Yeah, I think so. I have to find a place to date it. I could date it up there. Maybe I'll date it with a Sharpie marker here. I had a sharp one. Where is it? And date it with my Sharpie. Today is 1/27/19. There we go. There we go. So this one's for Heidi. This one's for Lisa, and this one's for Becky. How fun. How fun. And this turned out a lot better than I expected. In fact, I kind of like this one better than that one. And here's the other side. All right. Let's see. I'm going to turn my phone on. I see Rosemary's on. Let's go to my chat and I have a hard time reading my chat. Reading my chat on my laptop. Oh, it's going to ask me to watch an ad. Skip it. All right, let's go to live chat. Hugs to you, Dawn. Hi, Lisa. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Dawn. Hi, lovely Malia. My husband shoots his shotgun and it kicked shells in his face. Oh, my goodness. Ouch. Tina says, my son is two-handed. I don't know what they're talking about. Thank you, Cheryl. Newbie Cheryl. Let's see what else is going on. Giovanna says, can you hear me now? Did the buffer quit? Can you guys hear me now? Are we still buffering? It could be because of my... It may have been buffering because my phone I noticed the buffering started when I turned my phone on. It's off for me now. If it starts to buffer again, I'll turn my phone back off. It might be too much for my internet to handle, both the phone and the laptop. Thank you, Joan. You guys, I know I missed a lot of chat. I know that I missed a lot of chat, but I really wanted to show you how I drew these doodles in real time. So we'll be doing more doodling in our Friday night streams. I want to get at least 100 different motifs so we can do some doodle pick 10 type things, but it's going to take a while. Thank you, Barb. Let's see, what else? What did I miss in here? Does anybody have any questions? Did I miss any questions or anything anybody wanted to know? Because I was chattering away as I was working. So if there are no questions, I've been on for just about a little over 2 hours. I'm going to close my chat out here. I've been on for a little bit, for about 2 hours. I just wanted to show you how I was doing these envelopes, and I wanted to do one for Heidi and at least send her an envelope because I'm way behind on getting the happy mail to her. The other thing I wanted to show you was the stars here that I did. Let me get them out. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. These stars that I did in, now I'm a foot away from my desk. These stars that I did in Tanya's stream today. I need to go back and watch the rest of her video and find out what she does with these little squares and how she finishes out her pages. So I'll probably be working on Tanya's Junky Junk journal later this week. So there we go. All right. Thank you all for coming. So have a good week. I might do an impromptu tomorrow morning. It just depends on how I feel. I have so much art that I need to get caught up on. That's really why I'm doing all of these. I'm trying to catch up with life, but I may not. But for sure, I will be going live Tuesday morning at 4:30 in the morning and on Thursday and on Friday night. Now, February 8th, just kind of a heads up, February 8th, I think, is a Friday night. And I'm not totally sure yet, but I think that's my niece's bingo night. And I like to go to her bingo night. So we haven't got an official call on that yet, but you might keep that in mind. I may not be doing a live on Friday the 8th of February. It just depends. Okay. Good night, everybody. Have a good week. Bye for now. Oh, as Meri likes to say, I will see you on the next page.